As the days grow shorter and the nights draw in, there's a distinct chill in the air. It must be the turning of the seasons. Autumn has now arrived, and with it the land begins to rest. The leaves turn a shade of gold, crimson and even brown, and soon they blanket the ground with a tapestry of nature's final burst of colour. The last harvest has been gathered, and today, here in the UK, we celebrate the Festival of Harvest. This is the time we reflect on this season. It's been a hard year, but one that's brought gift of food. The freezer is full, the shelves are stocked up, and although the work isn't over, the large processing jobs have come and gone. Soon the winter's crops, like Brussels sprouts, will be all that remains. But for now, it's time to pause, breathe, and give thanks.
The year's been tough for many of us, but gardening doesn't have to stop. Years like these remind us that even in the hardest time, the earth provides for us. Remembering how much food comes from just a small patch of land like these beans. Even with such a difficult year, I've got a freezer full of food. As I gather the last of these vegetables, I'm reminded of how much you can grow in such a small area. You don't need acres to begin to grow your own food. Just a small patch or a few pots to grow such an abundance.
As we move deeper into autumn, the garden continues to give. Today I'm gathering the last of the summer crops: peppers, beans, carrots and potatoes. It's a bittersweet moment, knowing that soon the garden will be resting beneath the frost. But for now, there's a final burst of colour and abundance. Next, the beans. Such a simple but generous plant. Even small spaces can yield so much. These will be dried as drying beans and canned to nourish us throughout the winter. The peppers have been slow to ripen, but for now, bringing summer's warmth into our meals. Whether in stews or sauces, they will add a vibrance to the cold days ahead. Let's not forget the carrots. These hold strong in the ground. These hardy root vegetables are patient, waiting for the perfect moment to be pulled. The sweetness develops in the carrots once the weather has cooled. They're even more flavourable after a good frost. Carrots are such a reliable crop, reminding me that even when the garden winds down, there's a few treasures waiting to be uncovered. And finally, the potatoes, hidden treasures beneath the earth. There's something deeply satisfying about unearthing these sturdy root vegetables. Each one is a reminder of how the garden can sustain us, even when the temperature drops. This last harvest is a reflection of the years past. It has been a season of hard work. As I gather these vegetables, I'm reminded of the reward of tending the land. No matter the size of the garden, each crop is a gift, and each one brings us closer to the dream of self-sufficiency. Now that the peppers, beans, carrots and potatoes are safely gathered, I'll be storing them away, making sure we have enough for the colder months ahead, because homesteading is not just a hobby, it's a lifestyle of abundance.
Today I'm going to be harvesting some calendula to make some soothing cream. It's amazing how much you can make from just plants. The calendula has been a particular joy. Not only is it abundant, but it brightens the garden, and it's a particularly useful herb in any sort of topical skin irritations, etc. But obviously do your own research. These calendula will be perfect for making winter remedies for skin, and these beans will be perfect for making warm, hearty dishes in the winter to keep us warm and fed.
Now we've brought in the last of the calendula, let's turn these flowers into something practical and nourishing. Calendula is wonderful for the skin, and making simple creams is easier than you think. Let's get started. First step, dry your calendula flowers. You can do this by hanging them, but here I'm just going to use a heat dehydrator, putting it on its lowest setting. Step 2, once the flowers are dry, you want to submerge them in oil. I'm using olive oil, but you can use any oil you like, almond oil, etc. Step 3, you want to strain to remove the flowers and weigh your oil. Then you want to use 1/4 of the amount of beeswax or 1/3 of the amount of beeswax, depending on how hard you want your cream. Here I'm using 1/4 because in winter it gives that little bit more nourishment for your skin. And this will create the base of our cream. This is now your beeswax jar. Beeswax is very hard to get off, so keep this jar for this task. Step 4, once the mixtures have heated, and then add your oil. Stir this until the beeswax is warmed all the way through. You can add essential oils at this point, a couple of drops. However, I chose not to. I think that the smell of the beeswax and the calendula is gorgeous. Step 5, pour it into your storage containers and let it cool.
Even without a homestead, the work of planning and preserving really gives me that connection to nature that I'm really craving. But of course, I'm still dreaming of one day having all that land. But I'm happy right now learning the skills I need to make sure that land is successful and productive. Because one day we'll have that dream land and we'll need to know how to cater for it. It takes moments like that to realise the simplicity of nature and the beauty it can produce. Whether you have a whole homestead or just a small patch of land, it's about the connection with the earth. From growing, planting, creating, that's what really matters. I hope this inspires you to start your own homesteading journey, even if it's just a dream right now. The smallest steps can bring the greatest reward. Don't forget to subscribe for even more homesteading tips. Until next time, take care and keep dreaming.